Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I'm your Fanatic and host George Bueller here. We got a fun one here for you today because, well, I'm another year older, maybe not necessarily wiser, but I'm at least a little older here. And it's the big 5-0 for me, celebrated this past Tuesday. But there's some revelry on the way. Looking forward to that. And part of this revelry here, Mr. Party Animal himself here, the man Hammer.
Yeah, it is me. Yes. Now the horsemen are all excited to go and we're all gonna blow off some steam tomorrow night, I believe. And
Yep,
help George celebrate being 50 years old, man.
50.
Like, yeah, you are the well, you and Steve are the elder statesmen of the group.
We are, yep. So.
Yeah, you have to keep us young whippersnappers of me and Eric in line.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes the three of us have to keep Steve in line.
Yeah, that is true. No, I mean we all do have our moments, Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and Eric's got a story to tell you. I'll leave it at that. He can't wait. He's
yes.
chomping at the bit to talk to you. Yeah. He's like, nope, I gotta talk to everybody all at the same time. Like, he's
Oh, I love it. And Martin is in the house. Thank you,
what
sir.
up,
Thank you very
Martin?
much. Oh, and you turned 50 in May. Well, then happy belated
Oh
birthday to you,
wow.
good sir.
Wow. All y'all 50-year-old men.
I know, right? And Martin says there's quite a bit this year in 1976 what we're celebrating. This is glad that you don't have to do it next year and force you to celebrate Star Wars. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Well, I'm actually excited about the original 1977 version of Star Wars be playing in theaters, not next year, but in 2027. So,
Yeah, I've heard stuff about that coming, and we can actually see an official version as opposed to like the fan restorations, and
yep.
yeah,
Yep, this is the real deal McCoy, where it's just Star Wars, no Star Wars New Hope. James Earl Jones does not get credit. Stormtrooper bumps his head. All the things.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I,
so
I, I, I honestly, it's so weird that we haven't had that we've only had those weird versions of Star Wars for the longest time, which we've all gotten kind of used to. We all
yeah.
watch them now, and we just grumble about, how they used to be. You
Well,
know.
originally on VHS in the 80s, you could get Star Wars. Now, of course, they tacked the New Hope thing on there and cut the Stormtrooper bump in his head. And did give James Earl Jones credit. But that was basically, for the most part, aside from those changes, that was the original cut. The same goes on Laserdisc, the same way. But yeah, the 77 original cut has not been seen in theaters for many, many years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
So and another thing we're looking forward to that you and I get to go on a little road trip coming up in April. Joe Bob Briggs is coming to Kentucky.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he's gonna do his show, How the Rednecks Saved Hollywood. And
yep.
he's been touring on that show for a couple of years now, but I mean it's like I think I haven't seen it. I've only heard about it.
Yeah,
But
I haven't seen it myself, so yeah.
yeah,
I'm there.
I don't care. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna hang out. Hopefully we're gonna get to meet Joe Bob and Darcy, and I want to try and get my OG printing of Joe Bob Goes to the Drive-In signed.
Nice.
Because
Uh,
somebody I know already has the new one signed.
and thanks to you, it got signed. So there you go. Yeah. Actually, from what the information for the show says, is that basically, Joe Bob's doing the show. It kind of breaks down what the show is. And then basically says before and after the show, Joe Bob and Darcy will be hanging out. So there doesn't seem to be like a separate ticket for the meet and greet. It's just they're going to hang out before and after the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I've always understood they were pretty accessible at the shows. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
would just kind of hang around as long as they could possibly do it to meet everybody. And yeah.
Yep. Yep. And so I hope that bar is freshly stocked with Lone Star. So,
Yeah, we got tickets this morning, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast. So
I can't wait. So, yeah, because I've been a fan of Joe Bob for over 30 years, but I've never had the pleasure of getting to meet him before.
yeah.
you're the closest thing to getting to meet him because you had email contact with him over the book and the signing. So
yeah, and there was when the very first Shutter marathon. He had talked about writing this article about Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was like 200,000 words or some shit. I mean, it was a long ass article. He was like, email me about it and I'll email it to you. So a bunch of people did, right? And I was one of them. And
nice.
it was about a month or so later, and it was like, I got a link to Joe Bob's Texas Chainsaw article that was actually highly informative, and it was a very good piece of journalism. But it was just about the making of, and like everybody's experiences on kind of deal. But it was pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it online somewhere if you want.
I'm sure, yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Oh man, well, cool. Well, fun stuff we got to talk about here, but I do have some comic reviews here for us, and a very DC heavy week this week here.
DC.
Yep. Actually, all DC and Indies here, pretty much. So, first off, Absolute Superman. This is issue number 16. This has really been heating up. I mean, Jason Aaron has been killing this from the beginning, but it's been kind of a slow burn. Well, we had basically like the first 14 issues where this conflict of basically building Superman versus Ra's al Ghul, where Ra's al Ghul is basically wanting to make Superman his son of the dragon and the whole conflict with that. But we're getting, this is not our Superman. This is a Superman who is very unsure of himself, doesn't really have all the answers. He's basically a ball lost in tall weeds with a shitload of power. So he's just started kind of coming into himself here and realizing kind of what his purpose is and feeling comfortable in that. And then enter Hawkman. And they made Hawkman cool. Somehow.
That's a tall order, man.
Still basically, he's still not quite immortal, but he has been around since the 1940s and hasn't aged since because he's basically got the armor and the mace and all that kind of stuff. But he's also not entirely a good guy either. Sometimes he does the right thing, and sometimes when it's convenient, he doesn't.
Right.
But this also isn't the first time we've seen Hawkman. Hawkman also made an appearance in Absolute Evil, which was our introduction to basically how all the bad guys in the Absolute Universe basically are the Justice League. They operate out of the Hall of Justice. And Oliver Queen was supposed to be a member of their cabal and kind of said, no, I don't feel like doing it. And so basically they sent Hawkman after him and he basically killed Oliver. But we do have an Absolute Green Arrow book coming out later this year because before Oliver was killed, he was on the phone to somebody and everybody suspects it's Roy.
Okay.
So basically Roy essentially hunting down who murdered his friend.
Right.
So like,
okay. I would dig on an Absolute Green Arrow book. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I like that. So a couple gimmick books this week here for DC. First off, this is a one-shot for the DC KO event going on, where you got basically the big tournament, where the winner of the tournament gets enough power to face Darkseid, mano a mano, who's superpowered himself more so than usual. And so, so our final four right now are Superman, Wonder Woman, the Joker, and Lex Luthor. And so basically the kind of the elders essentially who are kind of taking care of the Justice League and guiding them through the multiverse and doing all this kind of stuff with the big tournament fight. They're like, okay, you guys aren't 100% ready yet, so we're going to basically bring in some other characters throughout the different worlds and help you get more energy to power up. So they bring in, first off, to help out, they because a couple of defeated people during the tournament, they bring back in. So Plastic Man, Black Lightning, Star Sapphire, and Batwoman make a reappearance after being knocked out a little earlier in the tournament. But bringing in basically to help fight the DC people there, you get Scorpion and Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. For the pages of Dynamite Comics, Red Sonja and Vampirella. From The Boys, Homelander. Guess who he gets to fight? You, Superman. Yes, that's right. We get that fight. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's a left fielder. Samantha Strong, the lead character from the IDW series Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which basically mixes Dexter with Richard Scarry's Little People. That's the little animals that dress up like people in clothing and have normal people jobs, but they're bears
Right.
and dogs and cats. Yeah. Yeah, so this particular one, she's a serial killer. But she's a cuddly little bear, too. And then last but not least, Annabelle from The Conjuring. So this ridiculous array of people are basically fighting against DC heroes. So you get basically, uh, you know, Black Lightning and Plastic Man take on the Mortal Kombat guys. Star Sapphire takes on Sabrina. Batwoman and Vampirella go at it, which that's kind of interesting. Red Sonja and Wonder Woman have an awesome fight. Yeah. So that yeah
Yeah.
they
This
have an
is
awesome.
just the more you talk about it, the more absurd, but like actually weirdly cool it sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then let's see here. Lex Luthor gets to fight the serial killer teddy bear, which he does not see coming at all, which is a hilarious moment because he's like, "Why am I hearing like the sound of like somebody getting, like cutting meat or something like that?" And he basically comes upon her like in the forest, like there's a body hanging down, and she's essentially carving into it, covered in blood,
right.
wherever else. And so so he essentially still has to fight a bear with a knife, which he's kind of like, "What the fuck?" You know.
Yeah.
But the kicker of all the fights is Joker and Annabelle. Because basically you got essentially a doll that's possessed by a demon. Well, you don't see any of that. She just basically sits there and looks evil. And Joker has like a tea party with her and is having a whole conversation. And you don't know if he's just talking to himself or maybe he's hearing the demon or hearing her in his head. But he's having a conversation with her and answering questions and whatever else that no one else is asking. And there's one
Right.
point where he's staring at her and she doesn't do anything. And then he looks away and he looks back and it's like, there's like something. It's like, I see it. She's moved. I saw it. She moved. She moved. So it's kind of just that ridiculousness here. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun, but also at the same time, it's almost completely useless. As Jim Cornette would say, this is a hat on a hat. It's a gimmick
Yeah.
within a gimmick. So it's a little fun. It doesn't really propel the story that much. I almost kind of wonder what the reason was for adding this all in here. If it was just for funsies or what. So it's like it's kind of fun, but it's kind of also like
It means nothing else after that. Yeah. It's just
it
gonna
it
be
yeah
what it is. Yeah.
it does. Now, our other one, which this one's actually a little more fun, and basically since it's only just a 2-issue miniseries, it's kind of a nice, quick little story here. But you get the DC AEW, that's All Elite Wrestling combo here. And so
Okay.
basically, what this is, there is a very much like in the Marvel universe, where there's kind of this intergalactic wrestling organization that Ben Grimm, the Thing, has been a member of, and various other Marvel heroes and villains. But Thing's been more popular there because he's been world champion a couple times. But apparently, in the DC universe, there's also an intergalactic wrestling group here, and so there's a big tournament match. The winner is a character I've never heard of before, and she destroys the belt. And so there's all these shards from the belt that apparently all have some sort of power because this belt, the metal this belt was made of, has some sort of abilities or whatever else. So they're like, okay, so we got to go collect all these shards, put the belt back together before somebody else does, and yada yada.
Right.
So you're getting basically pairings of like Swerve Strickland and Jon Stewart looking for shards, or Will Ospreay and Nightwing, Batman and Darby
Okay.
Allin.
Batman
Yeah,
and Darby. Oh
Batman
God.
and Darby
Oh
Allin. Yeah.
yeah. So the two broodiest dudes.
Let's see here. Tony Storm's also involved. Orange Cassidy's in here. Mercedes Monet, Zatanna and Hawk Girl are in here. Trying to think who some of the other pairings are because this is a wraparound cover here. So there's another
Right.
side.
Right.
I think Wonder Woman and Willow Nightingale are a pairing, which frankly that needs to happen.
That's okay. Yeah, I can totally dig on that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Wonder Woman and Willow Nightingale were my favorite pairing in here. So, but anyway, so basically, you get all these different pairings of all these people going throughout the multiverse, fighting different people, different bad guys, or whatever, or organizations. trying to collect the shards, and so the shards are all collected. The belt is reformed, and then we have a heel turn because
Okay.
it's not wrestling without a heel turn. So
Right, but
I will give.
like, is it a DC face heel turn, or is it a
Well,
AEW face
it's
turn?
an AEW character that turns heel and sides with a already heel DC character.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
Ooh, who could it
Yep.
be? I don't know. I
Let's
guess I'll have
just
to read and find out, won't I?
yes, because I did get you a copy of that.
Thank you. I appreciate. Oh yeah, I still owe you for that. Oh, yeah, I got you. And
Um,
also, I am paying
oh,
attention. I am playing with a new lamb chop with Moxley right here. So
oh, you got a new lamb chop from Mox here. Oh, cool.
yeah, yeah, he destroyed the other one, and yeah, we had he's now in love with this. It's a different squeaker than what the old lamb chop had, but yeah, he of course dropped this one in the water bowl 5 minutes into having it too.
Of
So
course, yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, it's got that new lamb chop smell. So
yeah, yeah.
oh, and Martin says Vampirella ain't for the girls. Just saying, not entirely
Mhm.
true. Working at a comic book store and also selling online to a larger nationwide audience, Vampirella has a large
Vampirilla,
female.
yeah, she does. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got a female audience. Yeah,
yes, she does, and a lot of times the female audience likes the cosplay covers more than the men do. So yeah, I get a lot more of my female customers buying the cosplay variant covers or the incentive covers for like Red Sonja and Vampirella than I do the dudes.
yeah.
So
Uh,
the guys would much rather have like the sexy Derek Chew or Linsner covers or Lyric or all those very or Perillo, all these various artists and whatnot. Yeah, but yeah, the ladies like the cosplay covers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now what's weird to me is like Vampirilla and another one that has that weird female skew that you would be surprised about is Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that, yeah, that Jim Ballant comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's got like a big female following.
Well, I mean, even though it's a very tarot the Black Rose book, it's got a beautiful art. I mean, that's the Jim Ballard's very talented, but it's a sexy book. There's lots of
Oh yeah.
nudity in there, but the thing is that a lot of female readers, nudity is not a big deal as long as it's not like there's a difference between good nudity and like grotesque nudity, right?
Like there's 90s Marvel, like yeah, they're not selling like the swimsuit issues just with like for the pure sake of yeah, it's titillation. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
and of course, it's a
Not
supernatural
that those
story,
shots
and
aren't in there or whatever for whatever purpose, but yeah, it's
yeah,
like there's a different appeal to them as opposed to trying to target an adolescent boy demographic.
right,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So it's There's like I said, there's definitely a large female contingent that they don't mind the sexy books either.
Right.
And Martin says he loves the plushie.
Yep.
so
That was Moxley
the
is a
only
lamb chop favorite. That or yeah, it's yeah.
the only toy that he had on his list is this year's new My Pet Monster. Really?
Oh
Are you gonna
man,
do
I
one of
used to
those?
love My Pet Monster. Those things were great.
Oh,
Yes, with the
that's a great
breakaway
design.
handcuffs and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes in
Yeah.
like a box that looks like it's a cage, and oh yeah.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah. I loved my Pet Monster.
Yeah. Oh, Martin admits I was right about Vampirella, but he had to drop in the expected sexist and lingering old man white comment. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
That's also fair too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's plenty of white, lingering white dudes that are goons as we're called today. That they enjoy the Vampirella as well. So that's there you
look,
go.
if they're gonna do a live action Vampirella movie or whatever, I'm one of those guys that's like, keep the costume the way it was, damn it. Purity
Mm-hmm.
for purity's sake. The
I
whole
haven't.
way.
Wasn't there a low budget? Oh, yeah. Like didn't like
Yeah,
Showtime?
it was
It,
a
it, was it
Showtime or a Cinemax movie. One
Yeah,
of the
but
two.
it was like the mid 2000s, low budget. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
No,
Yeah,
no, it was not. No.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
it was
no, it was
yeah,
not.
it was yeah,
So there is technically a Vampirella movie. It's just not very good.
right.
Yeah.
It's just dog shit. Yeah.
Let's see here. A couple of indie books here. One that you definitely got in your stack here, and this was awesome. This came out last week. This is the Bug Wars Spider Witch Special. And it's a nice little thick boy, too. This is not just a regular one, normal size book here. But you get, of course, a great couple of stories in here. You get basically a story that takes place kind of almost immediately after book one. So you kind of get like the aftermath of, basically when, the kid essentially goes back to his normal size, goes back home. We don't know maybe if they've left or anything like that, but the yard is kind of starting to go back to normal a little bit.
Right.
But they're also setting us up for book two, which basically I can only say, beware the Squirrel King. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Bug Wars was my favorite series of 2025, I believe.
It was really amazing. It really was, and basically, if you weren't familiar with Bug Wars, it take basically like some dark, down and dirty fantasy and mix it with like a little Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, imagine Robert E. Howard wrote Honey I Shrunk the Kids and put it in Georgia. Yeah,
perfect. Yep, yeah. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, but great hardcore fantasy stuff because Jason Aaron's really good about that stuff, just real down and dirty, nothing fancy, things like that. And of course, you also get a story of the Spider Witch's past as well that also kind of helps kind of frame stuff to come later on in book two, which we're getting later this year. So
nice.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be maybe like May or June, perhaps. Okay. So I haven't officially heard just yet. So,
sweet.
Yeah, a couple of new number ones here. This particular one was a book that I originally did not have on my radar, but a few of my customers were asking about it. I'd heard some hype about it. It's like, well, I'll check it out, and I'm glad I did because we sold out of this thing at lightning speed on New Book Day. This is issue 1 of Dork.
Okay, Dork.
Half dwarf, half orc, all dork. So apparently he's half of a light dwarf and half dark orc. But in this fantasy world, there's a light side and a dark side, and there's essentially this split called the Scar, which kind of like splits down the middle and is kind of a natural barrier between both sides. So occasionally you get people that cross over and cause trouble or whatever else. But apparently the dork lives on the Scar because he's essentially not welcome anywhere else, and he's essentially also prophesized to essentially kill everything eventually because he has such power and holds no allegiance to the light or the dark. So he's just going to destroy everything. Dork is, basically a lot of kind of like, it does have a lot of power. There's a lot of action here, but there's also a lot of comedy as well. Brett Bean is the writer and lead artist on this one. He's very inspired by Scotty Young. But yeah, like I said, this was amazing. I've subscribed to the rest of the series after I read this one. But yeah, we sold out of this fucker real quick.
I was gonna say that cover alone, like that would be a seller to me.
Yeah, my favorite part is that this shield that he has is a cursed shield and has an eyeball on it. Apparently, the eyeball belonged to a former warrior who's been cursed by the shield, who's been cursed and attached now to the shield. And the shield itself is like apparently like super strong, wants to just do nothing but fight and kill and whatever else. And so there's a scene where a chicken gets his head cut off by the shield on accident, and then the chicken's ghost head is now follows them around and is now part of the cast. So, so you get this half orc and dwarf character, a cursed shield with a giant eyeball on it that just wants nothing to do with kill, and a floating ghost chicken head.
Yeah. Okay.
In stores now, folks. Buy it.
Wow.
Corey, what is up, brother? How you doing? Corey's one of my regulars in the shop and a great dude. So yeah, almost worth it, dude. There's a second printing was announced. Basically, this book was released Wednesday. By Wednesday afternoon, they announced a second printing because it was already sold out at the distributor. So second prints are on the way, so you might want to order one of those for them, and then get
Wow.
issues 2, 3, and 4. So
Yeah, snag me a second print of that, will you?
I certainly will. Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah.
And last but not least, this is my basically Dork was my first favorite book of the week. My second favorite book is one that I've been very looking forward to, and it did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. Thundar,
Thundar, the
the Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Written by Jason Aaron, art by Cooper Ball. Dude, this fucking rocked. It starts off like a typical episode of Thundar the Barbarian. There are some human beings at a slave trade auction, and Thundar goes to help them out, kind of doing a little undercover thing. And so basically fighting a whole bunch of lizard dudes and cyborgs and all that kind of usual Thundar stuff. And then
Right.
Ukla and Ariel show up to help out for backup. Typical Thundar. Well, about halfway through, you get basically the Council of Wizards, who are basically all the main bad guys in the Thundar universe, who don't normally like to team up, but they realize that Thundar is just enough of a thorn in their side, and they're like, we need to do something about this. So the Council of Wizards throws a little wrench into the works and essentially kind of like maybe changes some things in Thundar's life. And so the next time we see Thundar, he is essentially a Spartacus sort of character, a slave in a gladiatorial combat.
Right. Right.
And there's no sign of Ariel or Ukla.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, I'm like, I'm in. This is good.
I'm
Like,
down. That sounds
yeah.
cool.
You want me to grab you one?
Yeah, why the hell not? Yeah, go ahead and snag me one. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah.
I hope you can too, Martin, because yeah, it's like I've been a huge Thundar fan since I was a kid. I loved the cartoon back in the day, and then over the years, as my comic fandom grew, and I found out the history and knew that Jack Kirby was involved with the development of Thundar. Basically, basically, he essentially designed the character and kind of designed some of the world and whatever else, and then basically Ruby Spears and their artists kind of took it from there.
Yeah.
So. They're $5. Yeah. So I don't know how much to be in Mexico, but yeah, in the States they're $5. Yeah, Thundar fans, you can talk. Yeah, I used to have the board game too. There's a Thundar board game. So
Yeah.
which is
Thundar
free.
was just a smidge before my time originally, but I've
Mm-hmm.
become aware of Thundar more through later on through everything. So I didn't necessarily grow up with Thundar.
Yeah,
But
it's on Tubi, I believe now.
yeah,
So
I have caught random episodes of it here and there, just popping them on and playing them. Because I believe was it Secret Galaxy did an episode on there? Did they
yeah,
have one? Yeah,
sure
that was
did.
talking about it, and I like watching those and then going back through and watching some of the shows they talk about because it's like a lot of them I'd forgotten about how deep they go, or like how maybe watching them as a kid I wasn't catching a bunch of like the nuance in some of these shows. But
Mm-hmm.
like Pirates of Dark Water, I didn't realize was one of those shows that had like a bunch of stuff going on with it.
Oh,
But
and it was a show that was way ahead of its time, and very much kind of like the old Mighty Orbot show from the early '80s. It was a show. It was a series designed to have a beginning, middle, and an end.
yeah,
So yeah, and basically when the show ended, the way like they didn't cancel it prematurely. They let it run its course, and yeah. So basically,
no, I think Pirates of Dark Water did get canceled. Yeah,
oh, did it? I thought they
yeah.
completed the story.
I'm
Or maybe
pretty sure. At least that's according to the Toy Galaxy video. Yeah, or the
okay,
series.
okay. It's been a
Yeah,
long time since I've seen it, but I thought
yeah.
I thought they got to, okay. It's originally designed to have a beginning and middle, and it may not have got to have the end.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
But yeah, but nonetheless, though, yeah, the show was very much ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So for some pure content and whatnot. So all right. Oh, one last thing. Of course, yeah, you'll get to see this in person tomorrow. But I once again made a venture out to the Louisville Toy and Antique Mall, which is one of my new happy places out in South Louisville in Hillview, and it's literally a vendor's mall, if you're familiar with how those are. But it's nothing but toys or comics or old records and stuff like that. It's just all nothing but cool shit.
Where is this located again?
It's in Hillview. So basically, it's basically leaving Louisville before you get. Hillview's like right in between Jefferson County and Bullitt County. It's like that right kind of outlying area.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
So Hillview is barely in Louisville, but it's kind of almost in Bullitt County too.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the interesting thing too is that next door there's a slot race place too. So there's a place with like a slot racing track.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I know some people really get into slot race cars and shit. So it's
Yep.
and people are super into those.
They are, yeah, but yeah, there's a place for it. It's been there for a long time too, but yeah, but like I said, the Louisville Toy and Antique Mall is humongous. I mean, like I said, I've spent a good hour just walking around the place.
Yeah.
But like at Vendors Mall, you got different people that have their setup, and basically various toys and stuff on display. Then you basically ask for assistance to open up the cases if there's something you want to get and all that kind of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And of course, there's various people that have more elaborate displays. Like there's one dude that kind of tries to make his store kind of look like an 80s toy store with a lot of like memorabilia and posters hanging up, that sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
There's one guy who basically has kind of like a store within the mall that's kind of like its own separate, like its own enclosure. And this is the guy I got this from.
Yeah.
The Demolition. Yeah, the Ringside Collectibles here, or the exclusive set here, and there's two different ones because they've got this paint set here, which is basically kind of the classic Demolition that we know them from. But they also have one of when they debuted, where Axe has the black and silver paint on with no red, and Smash's paint design is a little different too. So they have the paint variant. Yeah, they've got the paint variants for those. And of course, too, I love you got the different heads. Smash with his tongue out, or Axe with his tongue out, and then you see the heads without them. And so just a great set here. So I haven't opened this thing yet, but yeah, I probably will eventually. So
I was gonna say, you know our motto: toys are meant to be played with.
They are, and like I said, what was really really tough is that they also had the Ringside Collectibles Legion of Doom set too,
which that would have been my pick, but.
And it's them with the red shoulder pads too. There is a variant of the black shoulder pads, but they didn't have it. But they had the one with the red shoulder pads.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I mean, the shoulder, any color for the shoulder pads to me for the Legion of Doom would have been fine. But
and Bar says, Bullitt County, is that a name or a general advice to visitors?
Yes,
it is a name. There's actually
Martin, you do not understand how accurate that question is. Like that is yes, Bullitt County is it's a special place.
Well, it's had its bad times. They're definitely trying to turn things around for sure. But
it had its bad times. There was an entire show called 60 Days In, Martin, that they dedicated an entire season to drug activity in Bullitt County, Kentucky.
Okay, so there's been a lot of shit going on in Bullitt County. Yeah, but anywho, there are also many good people that have been kind of stuck in the middle of a lot of this bullshit that are trying to turn things around. But yes, there's been a lot of political corruption, a lot of drugs in the area, a lot of crime. But it's also, interestingly enough, it's kind of like almost a Southern staple. Like if you are living in a state in the southern part of the United States and you have a Bullitt County or a Boone County, perhaps, those are usually your bad areas. And I don't know why the name follows, but usually Boone or Bullitt County, usually those are going to be kind of your rough and tumble areas. So Martin says that he bought a 2013 Rey Mysterio at Sundays. Oh, nice.
Man, there's so much stuff coming out that I want to get, and I'm trying to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like there's even like
Oh, and you also got a set of 3 Bat Caves, including the infamous 97 Kenner one. Wow.
Damn, wow. That Kenner one, wasn't that a redeco or something else?
It was. Was it a Shearer Castle?
Or was it the
or no, or something?
Or was it the I know that so there was the Ewok Treehouse playset that got reused to be the Robin Hood
playset.
Now, did that get repurposed to be a Bat Cave?
No, I don't think it was the tree. Maybe it was a Star Wars set, but yeah, it was something. It was something that was a familiar thing that got repurposed as a Batcave.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember what set it was. We'll have to. That'll be for
Yeah.
the. Oh, it's a 3-piece volcano one. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
So wait, if the volcano one, that one if it's after Mask, because Mask had the Bunker Hill set, which basically was I had like a volcano in it too, I think.
Yeah.
So anywho, but yeah, so
Now,
anywho, yeah.
talking about Mask, did you get any of those new reissued Mask things?
Not yet. I really want to, but they're also a little expensive.
Okay, yeah. I also heard they were kind of shitty, so I was like wondering what your yeah, I
Ooh.
heard some people weren't happy with them. Like some of the stuff like was like the pieces were on upside down and they were having to
Oh,
like, make modifying them themselves and shit. Yeah,
interesting. Ah,
yeah, you might want to check on some YouTube, Google that, or you check on some YouTube videos because
okay.
some of the people were not happy with those because they were not the original molds, and I thought they were supposed to be.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. And then of course the one thing I do like is that they've got like they did resculpts on the figures and resculpts on the masks, and then they've got masks that actually have like energy bursts coming out of them. So like they're uh they're basically I have like some kind of action feature to them. So
right,
uh
right.
so yeah, so I like that fact. But yeah, so like I said, because they've only got 4 out right now. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to check them out, but yeah, I was like, I've seen prices on them, like Jesus,
Yeah.
they pricey. So, and also it's a matter of like room. I mean, we're talking like larger vehicles here, so it's like, yeah,
Right. Yeah. I remember at one point I was asking you, it's like, are you going to get an Arctic hiss? Because I was thinking about it and it was like, then you're like, no, I don't do the, you just straight out said, no, I don't do the vehicles beside like even like little tiny ones, like the Ram cycle or whatever. But like, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Like, where the fuck am I going to put an Arctic hiss? You know, like, yeah, a
now
Rattler
like
would be cool, but like, no, where am I going to put it? Yeah.
now exceptions to be made for GI Joe vehicles that if they ever did them, smaller vehicles, the Skyhawk or the Devilfish, which basically the Devilfish is a little red boat.
Right. Right.
Um, those two were favorites. And for a large vehicle, if they do the hovercraft, the whale, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Action Force just came out with some kind of raft thing that's very similar to one of the GI Joe vehicles, so I think they're trying to do their
Oh, that's
thing.
cool.
Yeah,
Trying
it's
to
still the same
fill the
scale
hole.
and everything. Yeah, yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those like same thing, but not quite the same thing. Like I know, like some of the places do tank. Like there's a knockoff Mobat around there somewhere
Oh, yeah,
online.
that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, hang on. Corey says he's got an Arctic Hiss in his office. That's awesome.
an Arctic Kiss.
Let's see here. Oh, and yeah, basically, yeah. So yeah, Martin's telling me wait a while on the mass toys. They're heavily flawed.
Okay, so yeah,
Uh,
Martin's doing the same thing. Yeah, I forgot
yeah,
Martin's an action figure guy too, isn't he?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. Martin is a toy expert. He's got his own toy company. Yes, so Martin
nice.
knows what he's talking
Yeah,
about. So yeah, now single function holds up. They've already called parts back, apologized, and replaced the second run if that ever happens and everyone is pissed. Okay, thank
okay,
you,
yeah,
sir.
I was hearing that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I still have lifelong trauma about not receiving an aircraft carrier for Christmas in 1987. So,
There
yeah.
on the classified subreddit, there is somebody had linked like this website that had a pre-order where they were doing 3D printing of a
Mm-hmm.
classified scale USS Flag, and it's 12 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, not to mention like 5 feet wide. Like this
Yeah.
thing is redonkulous. And
But the genius that is putting this together is fixing the main flaw that the flag had that no one knew until after you bought it, which was everything's on top. You've got this underneath part where there is storage for figures or vehicles or whatever else, but there's no detail, no furniture, no nothing. It's just basically just like it's 2 shelves, a small one and a large one, and that's it. So
oh,
basically, it's
no
all the
kidding.
top, it's all the top, it's all the command center, and that's it. So this person who's doing the new classified is offering detail and furniture and something for the undercarriage. So it actually is worth looking at on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But the original flag, the original flag is like I said, it's all surface.
That is right. Yeah, but so that is okay. That's pretty genius. Yeah, making an actual like playset as opposed to a decorative GI Joe style table. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because granted, you could put your, the helicopters and the Sky Striker and all the kind of stuff on the flight deck, and basically that works. And like I said, you've got the command
Right.
center and all that stuff, but like underneath, there's nothing. there's storage, but there's nothing.
Well, shit. Yeah.
There you go. So Martin says he was traumatized because as a German, saw the ad for the carrier when he was 32 and had realized that he was too late. See, there you go. So you saved me on the mass toys. I'm saving you on the original USS flag. Yeah, like I said, it's all surface level. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it is cool. I have seen it in person, and it's kind of like striking at first. Like, it's impressive. Don't get me wrong. Like, but
I went.
It's just flat surface.
Yeah, I went to GI Joe like a trade show years ago, and they managed to get 6 different collectors to bring their USS flags, and so you had 6 guys that brought their complete flags and had them all together. I mean, it's like they had them set up in a parking lot.
Yeah,
because there wasn't room in the hall itself. So out in the parking lot under tents was 6 USS flags all put together, and it was like, wow, that's a lot.
That is, that's a world war happening right there. Yeah.
That's All right. Well, shall we get to our topic du jour here?
Yes, we shall. 41 minutes in. Not too shabby for us.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
And of course, our topic is basically we're talking about, since I turned 50 a few days ago, we're talking about other awesome things that turned 50 in 2026 here. And so basically, we're talking about the year 1976, essentially here. There's a lot of awesome things that happened in 1976. Aside from
you got a really good year. You did.
Yeah. I certainly did. So, would you like to start off?
No, you can go ahead and start. I'm less prepared than George is on this one. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, cool. Well, I got a bunch of things to talk about here. So, music wise, it was really tough for me to pick. Because there's a lot of awesome records that came out in '76, namely like Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak. AC/DC had both High Voltage and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, even though essentially both those records were originally released years prior in Australia and were just kind of coming over to the States, repackaged, remixed, whatever else. Like the lineups of the songs are different on those records over in Australia than they were in the States. Kind of.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was that weird practice where like stuff would come out years delayed in other places, and the Clash had an album like that too. They got all jostled.
The Beatles' first like 4 or 5 albums essentially were like that. Like they were different in Great Britain than they were in the States, and all that kind of good stuff. So, but in particular, one of my all-time favorite bands that I've been a fan of since I was 3 years old had 2 records in 1976, basically released essentially within about 4 months of each other. One early in the year and then one later in the year, kind of late summer, early fall. I'm talking about, first off, Kiss's 1976 Destroyer. A massive record for them. Huge. I mean, they basically, hot off the heels of Kiss Alive, they basically kind of started seeing much more mainstream success than they had. So this is definitely their most accessible and mainstream album that they've ever done. Of course, you got songs like Shout Out Loud, Rock and Roll All Night, Beth, big hits on this record here. So very popular. But frankly, what I think is the better record, because after doing the big overproduction and sometimes having strings and orchestras involved in some of the songs like Great Expectations and other big studio production, like we need to get a little more back to basics and go back to kind of our original way. And so then we get the much more superior Rock and Roll Over. This, of course, has like Calling Dr. Love, I Want You. But this, God, this is filled with this is just a straight ass rock and roll record, and it doesn't quit. It's in my top 3 of Kiss albums. So,
Okay, yeah. See, now I did not know that that was like considered a better put together album than Destroyer was.
well, in my opinion, it is, and a lot of other Kiss fans feel the same way because it is a less overproduced. Because that's the thing, Destroyer was the one that sold all the records and was the big one that's still a classic today by casual Kiss fans. But deep Kiss fans, this is their record for '76 because, like I said, this is just much more just down and dirty rock and roll.
Okay. Okay, now how often did Kiss put out an album? Like, what was their release schedule like?
Basically, they were in a period from basically about '74 when they debuted up until about '79, where they were almost at 2 records a year.
No
Uh,
shit.
yeah, as a matter of fact, in '74 they put out 2 records, basically their first album and then Higher Than Hell. The early '75 saw Dress to Kill, and then late '75 saw Alive, and then Alive basically changed their life.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Alive was such a good album.
Yeah.
Even
And
though it was like the fake, like Alive. Yeah, yeah.
yes. To quote Jim Cornette once again this evening, Kiss Alive is faker than a football bat. It is made up of multiple shows, was heavily edited in the studio for maximum sound and editing out mistakes and such like that. So it is
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It does feature live performances, but it is not a single live performance. It is made up of multiple lives. So there you go. Oh, we got lots of comments here.
What we got?
Marcy, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yes, sir.
Dirty deeds and done dirt cheap.
You have a tour hoodie for Dirty Deeds? Wow.
Oh,
The
wow.
Destroyer. I'm sorry, the Destroyer tour. That's
I mean, that's
impressive.
still cool. Yeah.
Let's see here. It said, found it a while ago and some shirts in a bundle. Also have a Kiss 74 and a Stone 89. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And a live 35th anniversary. So that would have been for Alive 3. Yeah, that would have been Live 3. It was released in 90.
That's my Alive is Alive 3.
Dude, Alive 3 is really good. It doesn't get as much love as it should, but Alive 3 is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, so let's see here. But yeah, so like I said, lots of picks for me. Of course, also you got Aerosmith's Rocks also came out. Let's see, Hotel California was that year by the Eagles.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, I was looking at stuff. Yeah, you were born the same year that fucking Hotel California came out, man.
Yeah.
Like and that was my parents loved that record. That was what was blowing my mind about it. It was like, it felt weird. Like it made you feel older to me, and I didn't like that because that meant that I felt older too. And yeah.
Yep. I'm an old bastard. Yeah. So let's see here. So I'll do one more pick here, and then I'll turn things over to you here. So movie wise, I also had a lot to choose from here as well. Lots of great things came out in '76, but I've talked about this one before because we were talking about, I think, like either all-time favorite things or stuff we grew up with the year. I think it was all that we did a show on favorite movies of the year of our birth. So I've already talked about this one before, but obviously I'm a huge Carpenter fan, and I got Assault on Precinct 13 in 1976.
Yes. Yeah, you had a really solid year of movies anyway.
Rocky, Taxi Driver, All the President's Men, Carrie, The Omen.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, The Omen. I did it all for you, Damien.
It's all for you, Damien.
All for you.
I love it too. There's somebody did a meme, like there's that shot of His Royal Orangeness standing on top of the White House, just kind of standing out there, and so somebody just put, "It's all for you, Damien." Yeah.
Damn.
I love it. All right.
Well,
now I turn things over to you, sir.
I was gonna say, so you know who else shares your 50th birth year, right? Of 1976, right? Uh,
I saw there's a handful of actors. Yeah.
yeah, there's a few famous people. You and Sabrina the Teenage Witch herself, Melissa Joan Hart. You know, I know you had a big crush on her, and you used to videotape all of the Sabrina reruns and keep them. Like that was, yeah, it was weird because I go to George's house to borrow DVDs, and he just have these VHS tapes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch stacked
Sir,
up next to the
that was
console
that was
covers.
that was Clarissa Explains It All. Thank you very much.
See, that was a classic show as well, though. That was what,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So that was
yeah.
even, and I had that collection even longer than the Sabrina, stuff. So there you go.
No, that's fair. So you've been following her career for a while, then.
Well, yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
we're old fogies there. So yeah.
yeah. But another one of your favorite TV crushes, Candace Cameron, as she was known back in the day.
No
Yeah,
shit. I didn't realize the
DJ
same
from
age.
Full House is 50. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
She
you and
was
her.
Yeah, she was never one of my TV crushes. She never, I mean, I watched Full
No, she
House.
was the snotty older sister. Now Stephanie Tanner, back in the day, like I had a huge crush on her. You
Yeah,
know,
and
because
she
it's
still.
like I grew up with like the same, like yeah, it feels like we grew up together almost. Like she
Mhm.
aged into. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah,
Me
so
cursing on her
she's
no more. Yeah.
yeah. So no, my crushes back in the day when I was little were like Lonnie Anderson from WKRP, definitely Linda Carter from Wonder Woman. Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah,
and then basically, thanks to MTV, when Christy Brinkley started showing up in the Billy Joel videos, I'm like, hey, this Billy Joel guy's not so bad, right?
right, right,
And then I found out they were dating. I'm like, she's dating this little shit? Really?
right,
Come
right. What's going on? Yeah, let's see. My childhood crushes were Chitara from the Thundercats. Uh,
that explains the figure you showed us the other day.
no, no, no. That's look in my bizarro GI Joe universe that I am making. Man, did I tell you what happened to that Snake Eyes that I had customized? Like
No,
you see, I felt kind of bad because it's like I customized them too well now. So I'm trying to I like where it's been cold and I can't go outside and like do the proper sealant on them and everything.
sure.
I'm using Mod Podge. So like I
Ah,
used a little bit too much in his arm joint and so it got super gummed up. And I was
okay.
trying to work it out and manipulate it and it just like broke it right here, right? So like, well shit, like I've got this cool other looking Snake Eyes otherwise.
Yeah,
But so what I did was like I took the Operation Monster Force Donner Party cape because he had this really cool wired cape. I put that on the one armed Snake Eyes and kind of made him like a one armed Snake Eyes in a post apocalyptic future kind of deal. Like,
hell yes.
because it's like if there's a GI Joe that's still going to be a ass kicker, with one arm, it's going to be Snake
It's gonna
Eyes.
be Snake Eyes.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's like I just maybe he got into a fight with Storm Shadow and lost an arm, but like maybe he took Storm Shadow's eye or some shit. And so yeah, it's like
yeah.
yeah, it's still he's still got a use as a figure to me.
I love it. I love it. Oh, we got a couple other comments for our different celebrity crushes back in the day. Martin
Yes.
had a crush for Christina Applegate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And was fully prepared to be Al's son-in-law.
yes, sir.
Wow.
And
Oh
Christina
man.
never came, but definitely would have been a great son-in-law for Al, though. Yes, yes, yeah. I
Al,
would.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Married with
I
Children is still one of those shows that I watch to this day.
mm-hmm.
I will
Yep.
throw an episode on and eat dinner and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Love. Yeah. Mary. Yeah. I mean, because I'd hang out with Al. Hand down pants. Watching the TV. Sure. Yeah.
The thing that would get me would be like the picking and the flicking, like the earwax stuff would kind of, or like the
Well.
teeth,
Well.
like yeah,
Well. I mean, yeah. That dad. A lot of dads do gross shit, but so I mean, eventually, yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
We might get past that. We'll see. Corey said he had a thing for Alyssa Milano from
Oh,
Who's the
Alyssa
Boss.
Milano, hell
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. She's a good
Absolutely.
looker.
Yeah. Oh
Yep.
gosh, yeah. Oh man, there was she did an episode of The Outer Limits that was like one of the sexy episodes of The Outer Limits on Showtime. And
Oh,
yeah, that
well,
was
you
yeah.
remember her late career acting in the '90s before she got Charmed, where she did basically movies like Embrace of the Vampire, Poison Ivy. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, where she had her sexy period too. So
yeah,
we're so yeah.
yeah. Man, the
Yeah.
internet really kind of killed the whole booby movie market, didn't it?
No,
You
I think basically political correctness, the newer wave of political correctness in the 21st century killed boobies because there's you don't get boobs in movies much anymore. You
No,
like an
you
action.
don't. Yeah.
It used to be like action movies and horror movies. You could always depend on at least one set of boobs, in the movie. And now you don't really get them that much. You get nudity in like Oscar films where sad things are going on.
Right.
Like you see like full nudity and Bush on, like Demi Moore in The Substance, but she's also like 60 and is like it's a sad depiction because she's like she wants to be young again and she's not, and so you're not supposed
Right.
to look
Yeah.
at it like woo,
Yeah.
it's like you're supposed to feel bad for her, but it's like
Yeah. Or it's like the thing that like the weird monster that lives under the basement that's like, is like the sagging like boobs with the nipples. Or what the boys likes to do all the time, where it's like, nudity is all over this episode and it's wieners all the time. Which,
it's male
I'm
nudity,
fine if you're gonna have male nudity too, have male nudity, but I do miss the random female nudity.
yeah.
I miss the boobs in movies. If I hope that doesn't make me sound old.
And sometimes it would make sense, like cops have to go to a strip club or something, or there's a fight in a hotel and somebody busts through the wall like a commando, and the next people in the room were having sex or something.
Yeah,
So stuff like that. But so, oh, here we go. So Martin says, "Viva Mexico! Our movie industry, up to the Daily Weather Report, is still carried by them good old movies. Yay!" That is true. In Mexico, sex still sells. Sex is everywhere. It's on your daily talk shows. It's on your news and weather. So yes, God bless Mexico for still having sex sell. Yeah,
yeah, or at least not being so like prudish about it. Like,
yeah, no, yeah. There's
I
there's
I
yeah,
could go on this whole rant thing about the whole like Sydney Sweeney like modeling thing. Like like yeah, I don't. Uh, yeah. Yeah, of course, people like, yeah, she's an attractive woman. They're gonna put her on the things to sell shit, like, yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
she's awesome looking, and a lot of dudes like her.
yeah,
So, and she has shown a lot of nudity in her various movies or other things like that, and so her fan base is appreciative of that as well. So, and frankly, she's of the mind of like, while I got it right now, I might as well flaunt it because about maybe 10 to 15 years I won't, and I'm not going to. So
and
let's do it
I ain't
now.
mad at her. Yeah, and I ain't
Yeah.
mad at her.
So yeah, she's got her head right about it. So yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's do it while the iron's hot, man. You're in your
exactly.
20s.
Yeah,
You're in your 20s right now, and in good shape. And like yeah, everybody's golden in their 20s, and when that 30 wall hits, then they just starts kind of all going downhill from there.
right, right.
All right. Well, I got some more things to talk about. Unless you got some picks you want to talk about.
Well, I no, actually, I wanted to, yeah, another one, another person, one of your favorite celebrity crushes too, Reese Witherspoon, also
Mm,
shared your 50th birthday. But
okay.
Freddie Prinze Jr., who's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's another 50s guy with you too.
Also, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is a 50-year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Half a century, damn.
Yep. Me and
Yeah.
Deadpool share a
Yeah.
birth year.
Man, let me ask you this too. Did you ever really like ever stop to think before, like when you were like 18 or 19, did you ever think, you know what, someday I'm gonna be 50? And really just kind of think about it? Or did you like
To me, I remember in high school thinking like 30 was going because I'd always kind of had in my head like I was going to not rush into marriage. And so I was like, I'm not getting married till I'm 30. And honestly, I held to that. Michelle and I getting married till I was literally 30. So,
right, yeah.
of course, I got engaged a couple times before I met Michelle. So I almost got married before I was 30, but it didn't work out. So,
Hey, but that
when
don't
actually,
count, yeah.
that don't count. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know what? I've never thought of myself what I would look or what I would be like as an old man. I will say, legitimately, I don't like to be the idea of being infirm or not of use. Like I already like I'm of good use now. So
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to be the feeble physically or mentally too much. So I hope I'm going to be one of those older guys that's going to be kind of with it for a long time until like kind of like when a cat like a cat will live to like 16 and all of a sudden like out of nowhere it starts looking old and then like a month later it's dead. It's kind of like that thing. I would that's
Yeah.
kind of where I want. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I can dig that. I can dig that. Yeah.
now, on the other hand, I could be hit by a bus next week. I mean, you don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You never know. You never know. But it's still it's one of those things where like sorry to just kind of sentimental on you, but it's like a lot of
no, yeah,
people don't make it like to 50.
true,
And
yeah,
so it's like it's like really to celebrate the people that Bill just had his 50th birthday, so yeah,
mm-hmm,
a couple of years ago. So
yep,
shout out to him. Now it's your you're 50, and it's like 8 years. Hopefully I'll still be here for my 50th.
yeah,
And
that's right.
yeah, so yeah, it's just some of those things where it's like I'm just it's cool to be able to be with you and celebrate this whole milestone with you.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's just I guess some of it hasn't really sunk in, but then at the same time too, it's like I've already like since last year I've already started kind of feeling the apparently 50 the magical effect is you start to give less F's about like stupid shit. And so you kind of
yeah,
just kind of you kind of narrow down your priorities a bit more. And so yeah, I've definitely kind of done that. And so there's not as much like there's I always wanted to like basically was very much a keeping up with the Joneses when it came to like watching all the new movies and the new shows and being up to be able to talk about that stuff. And so it kind of became expected of me that people who know me like, oh, have you seen this? You see this new thing? And then they're surprised when my answer recently is no.
yeah.
And so it's like there's certain things I finally caught up and watched Severance. That was on that's on Apple TV, which that's actually a really good show.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
See, I've seen the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet.
Yeah, second season's
But
good, and it left you on a bigger cliffhanger than the first season did. And they haven't started production on season 3, but they will,
right.
but probably not until the spring. So at best, we're not going to get the third season until maybe the end of the year.
Okay. Okay.
So, but
But
yeah,
that is cool that you liked it. I'm glad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like the first episode was slower than molasses, but for whatever reason, I was still intrigued by it. But I stuck with it, and as it went on, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Then
So
once you
yeah,
find out what a waffle party is, you're like, well, shit.
the funny thing too is, of course, the show stars Adam Scott, and if you're not familiar with it, is basically he works in an office building, like an office job sort of thing like that. But the caveat is that when basically they go down to go to work, they almost kind of go into a different persona. They exist in this work life, and then when they go back up to the surface level to go home, the home life. So it's literally you have a separate home and work life, and you don't remember what either one's supposed to be.
Right.
And there's some other chicanery and stuff that kind of goes on from there because this is basically sort of a human experiment that's going on. But yeah, so there's other stuff that goes on. But the main reason why Adam Scott's character goes into it is because he's mourning the death of his wife. And so there's a fun game I saw on a subreddit that within the first few episodes of that first season, if you play the game like his wife is Leslie Knope and he's mourning her, if you're a Parks and Rec fan, it kind of adds a little something else to the show, kind of makes it a
Oh,
little bit more sad. Until
no.
like late in the first season when you actually
Right.
find out who his wife is, and you're like, oh shit, So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh, yeah. If you pretend that's cold, man.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So like
Poor Leslie,
it only works for like the first 5 or 6 episodes of the first
Yeah.
season. But yeah, like if you pretend that his wife that he's mourning is Leslie Knope, then you're like, oh, it just adds a new level of sadness to
Right.
it. And Martin says yeah, yes, priorities change when you turn 50, and you somehow need to start to save to pay up the ferryman. Yeah, well, hopefully I'm paying in good karma. So there you go.
Yeah. But no, that is a good point though. Yeah, because it's like your whole idea of like you hear like younger people complain about things, and that
Mm-hmm.
like as you get older, you're just like, wow, that means fuck all.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, why are you wasting energy worrying about that?
Yeah.
And whatever it is. And once you can do that, and you realize it's like, yeah, that I am getting older and maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
bit smarter. I don't necessarily know if wiser, but smarter.
Well, yeah, smarter or less engaged, or I mean, granted, there's still plenty of things I get excited about, or new things I get excited about, or
Yeah,
whatever else. But it's definitely much more pick and choose. So it's not just
yeah,
kind of across the board sort of thing like that. So
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, let's see here. A couple other things here that came out in 1976. Got to talk something comic book here. This wouldn't be a Fanatic Forum without
Right.
talking something
Yeah.
comics. Black Lightning premiered in 1976.
That
So
is, I
DC,
love that old style of DC book too. Yeah.
I know. And of course, it's funny because the afro is a helmet slash wig that he wears. So because basically when he's a teacher out in the real world, when he's not being Black Lightning, then basically he's
Right. Right.
he has a normal, closer cropped haircut. Even though, of course, in more recent years, he doesn't wear the helmet and just goes with his natural hair in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, originally created by Tony Isabella, and Trevor Von Eden was the artist on this one here. But yeah, so DC's claim to fame was basically after Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. That character is produced in 1975 by Marvel, but does not have his own title at the time. It was basically kind of like a limited series or whatever else. And so DC's like, we got to get our black superhero on here, and we got to get his own book, and so we could be first to the punch. And so then basically Black Lightning gets the historical marker of being the first black superhero to have his own title.
Yeah.
So then basically later on, Luke Cage gets his own book and stuff like that. It gets ongoing.
Right.
Then you get Power Man and Iron Fist later on. But basically
But there can
in the
only be
history book,
one first.
yep, there's only one first, and it's old Black Lightning.
Yep.
But of course, interesting footnotes. And I believe this was not the DC, but in the Marvel bullpen, in the editing, there was a ill-fated editor or assistant editor who had a suggestion because they were thinking of black superheroes they could do.
Right.
So there's going to be a character called the Bronze Bomber. The Bronze Bomber was a former KKK member and still a racist, but after an accident gets superpowers, and when he's in his superhero form, he's a black man. So by day, he's a white racist. By night, he's a black superhero vigilante. That was the pitch.
That is fucking stupid.
Yep. So as you can see, Bronze Bomber was never made.
Yeah.
And that assistant editor went on to obscurity, and his one claim to fame was coming up with probably one of the worst ideas in comic books. So wow. Yeah, that's almost the thunder and lightning. Everybody was frightening. I was actually just listening to the other night.
Yeah. So speaking of the Bronze Bombers, did you know that there was actually a different like it wasn't really a competing line, it was a smaller release line to the GI Joe 3/4? Yeah. There was more of African American soldiers called the Bronze Bombers.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, one of the Toys R Us in Clarksville, one year, like they had like the whole set of like I think it was like 12 figures they had, or maybe it's fewer than that, but basically they had like the gift set, like the whole thing. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like the figures look cool, and they all had different military themes and stuff like that. But yeah, they were all like black, and it wasn't like everybody was the same color black. Like there were different shades.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I thought that was kind of nice. It felt like a good idea. Like He-Man had Sun Man as well, which basically was a mother. She was also a teacher, and she's like, hey, I want to have some action figures that kind of look like my kid and his friends. And so she created Sun Man, and rulers of the sun or rulers of the universe or something like that. And so basically it was like you had some black characters, you had some Asian characters, you had Latino characters that were all in the Sunman universe. And so, but they were compatible with the He-Man figures because it was literally the same molds and sculpts and whatnot.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. So yes, it's a similar concept. Where like we want to do figures that represent a different demographic, than basic. Because like granted, you had a few characters in GI Joe who were African American or Asian or whatever else, but not like a whole platoon.
Right. It was still a skewed heavy white. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
So yep, I definitely remember the Bronze Bomber group. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see, I haven't seen those in years, so I don't know like how much there were to the line, if it was just those initial figures or how much they got to do there. So
yeah.
And Martin says, what? I would have bought that. And in later episodes, we also got revealed that his powers were invented by the Nazis and that Wolfie was his padrino. Let's see here. A couple of TV shows I want to bring up. They're very important to me still to this day here. One we definitely share fandom of. SCTV came out in 1976.
Yeah.
So SCTV was Canada's answer to Saturday Night Live, except it wasn't live. It was a tape show. All the segments and skits and whatever else, everything was taped. So they had a lot more time, a lot more production value to do stuff. And I mean,
it was public access from hell, though. That was the whole premise of it. I loved it.
Yeah, essentially it was like, throw out your TVs because SCTV is on the air. And, basically, it's supposed to be this like bad public access. And so you would have like, the Schmengi brothers doing their polka. You would have different other musical guests on here. You had the Mackenzie brothers and, all other kinds of different characters. And then you'd have like
Guys is still one of my favorites.
five deep guys. But then you also had like John Candy's character of Johnny. Was it Johnny Royal? Or basically, he was like a failed actor who still thought he was important, and he ran SCTV. And so you get like backstage vignettes of stuff going on with the actual station and the actors involved and stuff like that. So you get all this kind of like meta stuff there as well. But yeah, of course, you got the original cast there of John Candy, Rick Moranis, Joe Flaherty, Harold, Eugene Levy, Dave Thomas, the recently deceased Catherine O'Hara, and then Andrea Martin. Later, you can add on Harry Shearer and Martin Short. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, there's basically because you had Harry Shearer and Martin Short were over in SNL for a little bit, and they didn't care for SNL, and so they went to SCTV, and they're like, oh yeah, this is much better. Yeah. So we got let's see here. Oh, and Martin says he misses Rick Moranis. Well, fortunately, Rick's making a comeback. Matter of fact, it's going to be this year because we get Spaceballs 2 in theaters this summer.
For more money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
yeah, he's been sporadically coming back to things here and there. So
yeah, he's appeared in commercials and stuff like that too. So it is not a remake, sir. It's a sequel. And Mel's directing it, and Bill Pullum's coming back, and his son is going to be in the movie playing the son of Lone Star, and I think John Candy's son, his oldest son's playing Barf. So there's a lot of like family coming back, and then basically as many of the cast members from the original movie as they could are returning to the movie, even if they look like old people. Yeah. But yes, sir, this is happening. It's coming out this year. I believe it's like we haven't got a full trailer yet, but yeah, it is in production. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You want it? You go and get it, sir. Yeah. Yeah. This is no joke. This is happening. Yeah. So we get Spaceballs 2. I wish it would be titled The Quest for More Money, but I don't think
that would be. Yeah, but it won't be. Yeah.
But it should be because that was what was titled in the original movie when they were going to
do
a sequel.
I agree. Yeah, I 100% agree.
But 98-year-old Mel Brooks is returning to direct and also to star as Yogurt and hopefully President Scroob.
The
Uh,
Spaceball flamethrower.
the Spaceballs doll and the
Yeah.
Schwartz be with you. I love this one. All right. Let's see. Last TV show here I want to talk about here. Another very, very important show that, granted, the origins go back a little bit earlier than 1976, but the first episode of The Muppet Show debuted in April of
Yeah.
1976.
Have you watched the new Muppet Show yet?
I have not yet. I've heard great things.
I have too. Oh man, I might watch that
It's
tonight.
Yeah, it's in my quee. So yeah, but yeah, it's I've heard many good things. And it just like it's yeah. So I need to say there was a video I saw. I don't know if it came from like just a different skit or whatever else, but it's a skit of Pepe the shrimp and Rizzo the rat. They're driving in a car. They pull up to a gas station and they're like, I don't know if they're going to get some gas or what they're going to do, but it's them kind of arguing and bickering and stuff in the car. And then they're honking the horn thinking that they're going to get like some kind of service to come have somebody pump the gas for them. And
Right.
nothing's happening. And they're like, I'm going to, and Pepe is all getting all like huffy. And it's like, I'm going to go talk to those guys over there and tell them what, tell them to get over here and, service me over here. And then like they hear like a bunch of banging in the garage and like, nope, too scary. Let's go. And so they try to leave. So it's just this hilarious scene. Like, I don't know what this comes from, but I need more Pepe and Rizzo videos in my life.
Right. Oh shit.
Yeah, because I've always loved like basically my all-time favorite Muppet is Fozzie. Fozzie is my comedy idol.
Oh, yeah. Fozzie's my dude. Fozzie's my dude.
Yeah. And then basically the Electric Mayhem Band, namely Animal and Floyd Pepper, are two of my other favorite Muppets. But yeah, Rizzo definitely comes in fourth. And then Pepe, who's he's been around since the 90s, but Pepe's still considered one of the newer Muppets. But oh my God, he is comedy gold.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting side note, another one of my childhood crushes was Miss Piggy. But in my defense, they should not have given the puppet cleavage. That fucked with me as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah. I always thought Janice was kind of pretty back in the day too, but then again, she's part of the Electric Mayhem, so I got a thing for ladies that play instruments and in bands, stuff like that. So just
Yeah.
that's instant catnip to me. There, if you're a woman who plays an instrument in a band, then well, Michelle, look out. So, Martin says the new Muppets are great. Oh yeah, Fraggle Rock, yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Martin says the Spaceballs announcement was a late birthday present. Well, you're very welcome, sir. Glad I can help, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. So, and then one last thing, basically of note, a very important technological marvel that got us through probably a good almost 20, 30 years and is seeing a bit of a revival in the 21st century. The VHS recorder. Brought to us first by JVC in 1976. So the old top-loading VHS there.
That was really, it came out in 76?
Yep.
No
yep.
Shit.
Developed by JVC in Japan. Two Japanese engineers that worked for JVC developed it and basically came out in the open market in 1976 in Japan. And less than a year later was offered in the States. Early models were like $300 and stuff like that. So and they were pretty complicated too. You can see lots of buttons, lots of switches, and stuff like that. But
I remember the one we had growing up. We had Betamax, of course, but it was that thing had so many dials on it, and it had this like number panel readout that went from like 2 to 40. And that was how you programmed which channel you wanted to record. And there was some kind of bizarre arcane way that you had to turn these dials and shit to do that. And it was, just looking at that thing is giving me anxiety. Like, what on the?
I know, right? Martin says, it came as a more marketable model to the Sony V2000. Yep. Yeah, Sony had a model that was also released that same year, but yeah, it basically was considered like rocket science to operate it. So basically, the JVC was basically much more there.
Yeah.
So, I tell you what, though, yes, Betamax definitely was a German invention, and frankly, as quality goes, was far superior to VHS. But what some may or may not know, what won the war between VHS and Betamax is one simple answer: porn.
Porn.
Porn went VHS,
Yeah.
and that's what won.
Yeah.
If porn had gone Betamax, we wouldn't be talking about VHS today.
Yeah. Yeah, and see what sucks is so growing up in my house, my grandmother was like one of the most technologically savvy people that you'd ever meet, right?
Oh,
Like
no kidding.
dude, she did not go like she didn't have past like a middle school education, but like technology was something that she desperately wanted to understand, right?
That's
So
cool.
she was like one of the first people that had a touch tone telephone and could learn what it could do. We had a
Mm-hmm.
tape drive computer in my house, like that
No
had
kidding.
all like pull up, and yeah, I can't remember what brand it was, but I mean it was like a monster of a thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
but yeah,
basically you had cassette. You basically had cassette tapes that was your RAM, your memory, and such. Yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
but so when the VCR came out, I mean, she did her homework, right? So it's like Beta was the quality machine. So
Yep.
that's the one that we had, and it lost so hard. And this was when VCRs were so expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
we had to rock that Beta probably for 7 or 8 years past the time
Yep.
that what felt like 7 or 8. I have no, it felt like far longer than what we should
Yeah.
have. There was no place that rented Beta tapes anymore.
No.
So
No.
if we ever wanted to watch another movie, we had to get a VHS. Yeah.
I think there was a couple of stores like in Louisville. I seem to remember hearing stories about there was a couple of stores in Louisville that carried Beta on purpose. Like basically like the owners were like, we agree that Beta is the superior one too. So they tried to keep it going for a little bit longer. So because I think Bart's dad, our buddy Bart Dunn,
Yeah.
talked about that. There was like because he was like Bart's dad Millard, who's a college professor, was my professor and mentor for years. Yeah, he was a movie buff, and like he had like the largest laserdisc collection I've ever seen in my life. It took up 2 rooms, but it also was like classy because it was like built-in bookshelf walls and shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah, it was,
house was incredible. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're still there too. They're still at the house.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but then but yeah, he talked about like, the basically there was a couple of places in Louisville that like they were the holdouts and still had Beta. It may not been like rental, like could like buy Beta tapes there or something like that. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So there you go. So they had one last place there.
Yeah.
And Martin says he never knew that sticky little fact. Yes. Yeah. So which is ironic because basically, when it comes to, Japanese who basically gave us VHS and the Germans who gave us Beta, the Germans are far more liberal when it comes to sex and presentation of sex and nudity and whatnot. So it's ironic that they lost the porn battle because Germans be far more, accepting of that stuff than Japanese would. Japanese censors their own porn. So it's like, yeah.
I've
So
heard I've actually heard something interesting. I heard that they don't have to censor it, that they just choose to.
yep.
Like, which is bizarre. Like
It's a cultural difference, but yeah,
yeah.
it is, and yeah, they choose to, there you go. I don't know, but yeah, it's a choice, not a need. So it's not
This
like
is
they
why
live
you
like
come to the Fanatic Forum, folks.
yeah, you learn about the history of porn here, which man, that's an
Exactly.
episode. If only we like knew a porn star or something like that, or maybe we could like contact porn stars. Like we want to do a story on an episode of the history of porn. You want to show up and talk
Right,
about
yeah. And
porn?
yeah, please.
It's like you don't have to get naked or anything like that, because this ain't that kind of show. It's going to be for YouTube. I don't think they allow that sort of thing.
Right,
But
yeah.
we can talk about it. So, and then we'll give you a link, and then we'll show links to their OnlyFans and all that kind of stuff like that. There you go.
Yeah,
So. It'll be the sexy Fanatic Forum. Was there anything else you want to bring up here that I didn't get to?
No, but that covers it for me. I apologize again for being ill prepared for this episode.
Oh, that's okay. This is more of just a celebration of old shit, and so since I'm the old guy, we're just basically, that's why I had a bunch of good stuff there. Oh,
Cool.
Martin says he's seen his first titty magazine when he was 6 in a supermarket, and his mom openly
Mom openly
explained to me what
explained
it
to me.
was.
Oh damn! Oh wow!
Yes, thank you, Germany. Yes,
Wow! Yeah.
don't hide that shit. Inform them. And I guarantee your mom may have had some charts and graphs available as well. So
Yeah.
there may have been some cold data involved in this. So I love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, sir. Oh, well, guys, this has been a fun episode here. So thank you, Corey. Thank you, Martin, for stopping in here.
Yes.
Definitely good
Thank you
hanging out
both.
with y'all here.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I've been fighting.
It has been fun.
Yeah, I swear I'm not dying. I had a cold last week, so all the crap is coming down. So I've just been coughing up. I've been coughing up stuff like I've been a 2-pack a day smoker. You know, so like,
yeah.
I was like, where is this crap coming from?
Well, you better stay you better not get sick by tomorrow or anything, or else
No. I've already been sick. This is the aftermath. So,
okay.
So yeah, I just sound like I have a smoker's cough there, but no. I'm past the sick part. So
okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm good. That's why I was kind of glad that because I wasn't feeling good last week, so I was kind of glad that the weather caused a delay of the party. I'm like, yeah, because I probably wouldn't have been 100% last week, but this week I'm ready to go. So
you're ready to have
I got my
on me, by the way. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I will be wearing my beer drinking pants, and also Michelle got me a T-shirt that you had already seen and approved of. But basically, it's a Star Wars themed shirt, and it says "I was born in a galaxy a long, long time ago." And then it has like a little Star Wars logo that says 50, and then of course it has like Vader's TIE fighter with his accompanying TIE fighters going down the trench. So I'm like, yeah, perfect shirt.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Anywho, so Martin says, thanks for sharing your lifetime with us, and I mean that. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Great benefit and a good friend. So, well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate your fandom too, man. Yeah, Martin's been with us for a bit now. So
yes, you have.
I appreciate it, man. So you guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend. And of course, we're on the same schedule. So we won't have a show next week, but we'll have a show in 2 weeks. That actually, in 3? Yeah, in 3 weeks is the Multiverse Fundraiser. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to join me for that episode, but I'm going to be talking
I should be able to, yeah. So
okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so we'll have 2 weeks in a row there. So basically, we'll be talking to the owners and purveyors of the Toshigawa anime universe here. So, oh wow, 2 years in, good God,
wow,
time she flies, man.
you are, wow. You are one of our oldest patrons. Thank you, sir.
Wow, 2 years in, man. Woo, Lordy. So I'm trying to think, how long have I done this show? This has been like what? 3-4 years now, maybe? I don't know, something like that, I don't really keep.
Did you start doing it after you left the station or before?
Yeah, basically, I did about maybe like about a year or so after I left the station when I started doing this show. So it's maybe been like almost 4 years now that I've been doing the show.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Like again, yeah, I'm not keeping track of the how many episodes and stuff. I probably should, but
I kind of like not knowing the number because that number gets intimidating after a while. You're like, oh wow, like what have we talked about in episode 435? You know, like
yeah. We got lives and jobs, man. We ain't got time for that shit. Anyway, so all right, you guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week next week, and we will see you guys next time on the Fanatic Forum, TTFN.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. little could we have ever imagined the response we have now. Starting with just hopes and dreams. We had no money for our mission. We had no product to give to the hospitals. And we had only called a couple hospitals and asked them, if we were to provide you with comic books, would you be interested? And they said yes. So we embarked on a 1-year journey to make a difference for these kids. We realized that even though we can't take away the reason these children are in hospitals, we can perhaps, while they are there, let them fly like a superhero, be princes and princesses, and embark on a mystical and magical journey to take them away from where they are in that hospital bed. Today, and thanks to your support, we are thrilled to say that we are now the largest charity in the U.S., supporting well over 200 hospitals in all 50 states for not only comic books, but for other pop culture items like Funko Pops, action figures, coloring books, Spanish bilingual items, backpacks, and more. When we received materials that were inappropriate for the young ones, we started a sister charity called Comic Book for Truth. And overnight, we became the largest charity in the U.S. for these same items to all branches of the military. We want to thank our friends for providing us their support and for allowing us the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.